Good morning, 7th grade. Today we want to begin by taking a look at the work that you completed yesterday concerning proper and common nouns. We're on page number 62. On page number 62, we circled yesterday those items I had in green. Those were the odd numbered items. And on my screen, I have highlighted in the orangish color those words that are the proper nouns that name specific person, places, and things. And then in the aqua color, those things that are common nouns. If you want to take a minute and check on your paper to make certain that you have these correct, if you need to make any corrections, you can do so. And then you'll have all the answers right here on page number 62. Once again, the orangish color is proper. The aqua colors are common. Again, there's nothing on the even numbered problems because we did not do them for today. In your side column here, if there's any question that you have concerning any of the answers that I have listed down, make for yourself a note so that you can ask me later on and we can help to clarify. If you need to spend more time, you can come back to this later on or pause it. I'd like for you now to move ahead to lesson number 9, which is on page number 67. On the top of the page, would you please place your first and last name, class 7, and today's date, September 29th. Thank you. Compound nouns. Compound nouns are nouns made up of two or more words. Compound nouns sometimes are separated into two separate words. Sometimes they're written as one word, and sometimes they might be hyphenated. If you look in a dictionary, sometimes there's acceptable spellings for a word in more than one form. Again, you can consult a dictionary if there's any question, and oftentimes if we're using a computer and word processing, the spell check will offer us either an alternate or the correct spelling if we've not separated it or put the proper hyphen in between it. So compound nouns are compound word forms. Again, either written as one or more than one word. And when we take these compound words, we can turn them into plurals. The other day we talked about singular and plural forms. So if I have the word doorknob, it can be doorknobs more than one. I add an S. It can be mailbox, mailboxes. You will remember from singular and plural the other day, we said the two common ways is by adding an S or an ES. And in today's lesson, we clarify that a little bit because in today's lesson, we're reminded that we need to be taking those words whose suffixes end in CH, SH, SX, or Z, and then we add the ES to them. So down here, I have doorknob, add the S, or mailbox with an X, and add the ES. And then we take a look at compound words that are hyphenated. They're written as more than one word, but it has a hyphen in between. Take a look at these three words and notice where the highlight on the plural on adding the S comes. And that goes along with the sentence that comes right above those words. Great-grandmothers. The key word is grandmother. I add the S. Dining rooms. The key word is room. I add the S. Sisters-in-law. The key word is sister. I add the S after sister. When the compound noun is hyphenated or written as more than one word, make the most important part of the noun plural. Great is not the most important part. Grandmother is. Grandmother plus S. Room is the most important part. I don't say dining's room. I say dining rooms. More than one room. Sisters-in-law. Not more than one law, more than one person, more than one sister. Sisters. My first takeaway is that I can have compound nouns. Compound nouns can be written in two forms, either as one word or separated, possibly with a hyphen. My second takeaway is that compounds like regular, common, or concrete abstract nouns can be written as plurals. I do that in one of two ways. I either add an S or I add an ES. I refer to the examples that are here. Possessive nouns. Possessive nouns show ownership. There's only a couple of words in English that use apostrophes. One of the groups of words that uses an apostrophe is a contraction, like cannot, can't, do not, don't. A second kind is when we talk about plurals. Plurals of things that aren't words. They're like groups or sets. For example, if I say ABCs, like, do you know your alphabet? ABCs. I would write ABC apostrophe S. Another group of words that uses an apostrophe are called possessives, and that's what we focus on for the second part of our lesson today. A possessive shows ownership, and in order to show ownership, I use an apostrophe. This can sometimes be confusing, but I propose that there are two simple rules that we need to remember. First rule, if it's singular, add an apostrophe S. 2, if it's plural, add an S apostrophe. If you turn to the back side of your paper, maybe you can write down these rules that will help you to remember how I make my possessives. Again, first of all, my words in black. If the word is singular, add apostrophe S. Even if it ends in an S. Sometimes it looks kind of goofy to have 3 S's in a row, but that's the correct spelling. A bass, a fish that swims in the lake. Bass's fin. The fin that belongs to the fish. The fin that belongs to the bass. BASS apostrophe S. Why do I add an apostrophe S? Because it is a singular word and I want to show ownership to the one thing. So even if it ends in an S and it's singular, I add an apostrophe and an S. Desk. One desk. The desk's leg. The leg that belongs to the desk. DESK apostrophe S. I add an apostrophe S because it's singular. It shows one. This is the first rule. The second rule I have here in blue. If the word is plural, I automatically add an apostrophe after the S that appears. Boys, more than one. It ends in S. I put an apostrophe after the S. How do I know to put the apostrophe after the S? I look at the word. The word is plural. It ends in S. I put an apostrophe after the S. Desks. Here was singular. Here it's plural. So, desks, legs. The legs that belong to the desks, more than one. So it ends in S. I put an apostrophe after the S. By now you may have recognized that there are exceptions to the rules. You learned that when you had spelling, I before E except after C, and other exceptions. Well, there is an exception to this rule, and it's here on my screen in red, and you might care to put this on your paper so that you remember it as well. The exception to the rule is that if you have a word that's plural and does not end in S, I simply add an apostrophe and an S. Example, deer. There can be one deer. There can be 7 deer. 7 deer's hooves. Apostrophe S. In this case, I would figure out whether I was talking about one or more than one deer by looking at the context of the sentence. Nonetheless, if it's plural, it's apostrophe S. I don't put deers as apostrophe. Women does not end in S. It is plural. Exception to the rule. When it's plural, not ending in an S, I put an apostrophe and an S. Women's, an apostrophe S. Woman is one. And I would follow the rule by putting apostrophe S. The same is true for women because it does not end in S. Oxen. Ox is singular. Oxen is plural. It does not end in S, so I add apostrophe S. This is the exception to the rule for plurals. Children. Child is singular. Children is plural. I make it plural by adding apostrophe and an S. Again, these rules I might suggest putting on your paper, and then you have them handy. The first part of your assignment. Please look below my box that I have here on the top of your page, page number 67. There is a blank that comes before each sentence. Each sentence contains a word that's in italics. Remember, those are those fonts that are slanted. You'll notice in these 15 sentences, I've highlighted them so that you can see them more easily. You're looking at these words and you're determining, first of all, is it singular or plural? Then make it possessive. Is it singular or plural? An. Singular. So I follow my rule. If the word is singular, add apostrophe S. An is singular. So because it's singular, I'm going to add an apostrophe and an S. That's what I put on the blank. Washington. Ask yourself, singular or plural? Washington is singular. What rule will I use? If the word is singular, add apostrophe S. So on the blank, I write Washington, apostrophe S. George Washington's troops. The troops belonging to George Washington. One person, apostrophe S. If the word is singular, even if it ends in an S, what's the rule? Apostrophe S. How about number 3? Charles. It's the name of one person, Charles. Even if it ends in S, This is singular. On the blank, I put capital C, Charles. Apostrophe S. S apostrophe S is correct. Why? Because it's singular and it ends in S. The same thing. Number 4, class. Is it singular or plural? It's singular. Even if it ends in S, I put apostrophe S. It might look kind of unique because I have 3 S's in a row, but it's separated by apostrophe S. C-L-A-S-S apostrophe S. Students. Ask yourself, is this word singular or plural? It's plural. Does it end in S? Yes. Students is like boys. S-T-U-D-E-N-T-S apostrophe. If the word is plural, add an apostrophe after the S. Remember, the difference between number 3 and 4 and number 5 is that these words were singular. That's why the first thing I need to do is ask yourself the question, is it singular or is it plural? Well, we may as well go back and pick up number 2 right away. Son. Ask yourself the question, is it singular or plural? Singular. S-O-N apostrophe S. Six. Project. Ask yourself, singular or plural? It's plural. Apostrophe S. Put projects on blank number 6. T apostrophe S. Number 7. Mother. Singular or plural? Singular. Apostrophe S. Mothers. 8. Vegetables. Ask yourself, singular or plural? It's plural. Does it end in S? Yes. S apostrophe. Vegetables. S apostrophe. 9. Singular or plural? Plural. Does it end in S? Yes. S apostrophe. Countries. 10. Animals. Singular or plural? Plural. Does it end in S? Yes. S apostrophe. 11. Crop. Singular or plural? Singular. C-R-O-P apostrophe S. Marta Evans. That's like Charles. That's one person. Apostrophe S. Capital E. V-A-N-S apostrophe S. 13. Atmosphere. Singular or plural? Singular. Atmospheres. E apostrophe S. 14. Teachers. And I even get a clue here because it tells me that there are more than one, but I know it's more than one because it's teacher, teachers, S. Does it end in S? Yes, it does. S apostrophe. Teachers. E-R-S apostrophe. Number 15 is like number 4. Is it one or more than one? Apostrophe S. My takeaway from this side is to remember the rules concerning the formation of a possessive noun that shows ownership. It depends upon whether it's singular or whether it's plural. with the exception to the rule. If it's plural and it does not end in S, I simply put an apostrophe. Great, it looks like we got that side all done. Now let's come back to the front side. What do I need to remember concerning the use of compounds, plurals, and possessives? The only one that gets an apostrophe is a possessive. I do not use an apostrophe for a plural noun. We just got through saying desks is possessive because apostrophe S. Boys is plural. This is plural possessive. This does have an apostrophe. You need to remember that because for your assignment, we're going to be practicing making plurals. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking a look back up at these exercises right here. Okay? These show possessives, but these up here show my plurals for my compound nouns. So you're looking at these items to complete these sentences. We already looked at these from the other side, okay? So for your assignment on these numbers, 1 through 12, on the blank, write the correct plural form. So all of these words that you see here in parentheses are singular. And what do you do with them? You turn them into plural. Grandmother. How do I make grandmother plural? Add an S. How do I make teardrop plural? Add an S. Write the word on the line. What happens if I have a hyphen? Well, I'm going to look up above and I'm going to be remembering I take the main word. Okay, I'm going to follow these examples. What do I do if I have a singular word that does not need an ES? Okay, I'm going to follow the word. What do I do with a compound? Okay, follow your examples that are in this section on compound nouns. Change the singular to a plural. Write your word on the blank. Your assignment for tomorrow is to fill in these correct plural forms, numbers 1 through 12. You followed along with today's lesson, and we already wrote these possessives, and we are not doing this section. If you can't remember that, then put a big ol' X through this. Tomorrow, we're going to continue, and we're going to compare and contrast. Comparing and contrasting plurals, possessives, and then contractions that I briefly mentioned to you at the front part of today's class. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk tomorrow, Wednesday.